Hi, it's Edward, back with another video. Please take a moment to click the thumbs up button below and consider subscribing to the channel. Thank you for your support. Today I read an interesting article on foxbusiness.com written by Eric Ravel, titled, Student Loan Delinquency Rates Highest in 21 Years as COVID Moratorium Fades Away. I'll include a link to this article in the description below. I encourage you to check it out. According to the author, the share of student loan debt entering serious delinquency considered 90 days or more late jumped to 12.9% at the end of June, up from 8% in March and above pre-pandemic trends. The author went on to say, the transition into serious delinquency was the highest among borrowers 50 and up, which was roughly 18%. Wow, can you believe that? The author said, borrowers in the 40 to 49 age range were the next highest at nearly 14%, while those between the ages of 30 and 39 were a little higher than 11%. The youngest cohort of borrowers in the 18 to 29 age range had the lowest rate of transitioning into serious delinquency at more than 8%. I'm going to share my thoughts. I'm not surprised to hear that those who are 40 and over are falling into delinquency. People in this age group are often referred to as the sandwich generation. They have aging adult parents who cannot afford to live on their own because they don't have a pension and they never set aside anything meaningful for retirement, and they can't survive on Social Security alone. So, they are relying on their adult children for support. Well, these adult children are also supporting their children. So they have their aging parents on their payroll, and they have their young adult children on their payroll, and they're stuck in the middle, trying to figure out how to handle this financially. At the same time, they're watching the cost of just about everything in life continue to go up and up here in America. This has to be disheartening. I'm sure there are some sleepless nights for some of these people. Many of these individuals have to be stressed to the max. This can't be good for relationships. I worry about some of these Americans. Some don't know what to do. That's why we are seeing these high rates of delinquency. Now, it is also troubling to me that the youngest cohort of borrowers in the 18 to 29 age range had a serious delinquency rate of more than 8%. These people are starting out in life, and their credit may get trashed because of this. Here in America, life gets real when you don't have access to credit. When your credit score drops dramatically, you're going to have a very difficult time renting an apartment, buying a vehicle, or buying a home. If you are able to purchase a vehicle, you will likely pay a higher interest rate. This is troubling to me. I'm sure some of these people probably believed our former president when he was on television talking about the possibility of forgiving student loans. That was the former president of the United States talking about that. I am sure this is a surprise to a lot of people right now that they have to repay these student loans, and some don't know what to do. Understand, I've never been in favor of blanket student loan forgiveness. I think if people signed on the dotted line for a loan, they should honor their commitment. You should always honor all of your commitments. I understand life gets in the way sometimes, but you may have to make sacrifices in order to make your payments. I've made a lot of sacrifices in my life. I once slept in a porch that was freezing cold in the winter and blazing hot in the summer so that I could give the nice rooms in the home that I owned to 3 roommates. I wanted them to pay rent and continue living there so that they could pay my mortgage payment. I made a sacrifice and took the worst room in the house. But I did that to be able to get ahead financially. Some people aren't willing to make sacrifices. Now, understand, I'm not criticizing anyone who is falling into delinquency with their student loans. This is troubling to me, and I wish them the best. Some people may need to make some tough decisions. They may have to cut back on things in life. They may have to take a second job or a third job. They may have to forego a vacation. They may have to continue driving an old vehicle because there's no way they could think about getting a new vehicle payment right now. The list goes on in terms of sacrifices that people may need to make, and that may not be enough. Some people may fall into delinquency, and that is truly tragic. Now, I read some of the comments beneath this article. I'll share some of them with you. The first commenter said, "The New York Fed's report also noted that credit card debt rose by $27 billion in the second quarter to $1.21 trillion, while auto loan borrowing rose $13 billion in the same period to $1.66 trillion. This is a bad sign." My friends, I agree with this commenter. There is something going on here in America. We are watching the stock market set new highs. At the same time, the middle class is eroding, and the working poor are struggling. We have the haves and the have-nots here in our country. And the have-nots are having an incredibly difficult time right now. This is why we are seeing credit card debt at all-time highs. This is why we are seeing auto loan delinquencies. This is why people are having a difficult time paying back their student loans. The next commenter said, "There's another bad sign that nobody sees. This is the continued uptick in vehicle repossessions. The perfect storm for car dealerships from 2020 to 2023 resulted in many people being buried in these cars to a point where they cannot continue to make payments. So they dump them back to the banks. While some are obtaining a new loan on another vehicle, it's all going to blow up in the bank's faces. Kind of like how the mortgage loans went belly up from 2007 to 2008. The next commenter said, "A lot of students didn't make the cost-benefit analysis when they got their student loans for liberal arts degrees. I'd venture to guess that a lot of those loans were taken out to pay for schools that could have simply awarded the amounts from their multi-billion-dollar endowments." Another commenter said, "How will they be able to afford Starbucks and Panera every day if they have to start paying back their loans?" The next commenter said, "I still had to pay my mortgage and car loan during COVID. I did not catch a break or a moratorium. Welcome to the club." Another individual said, "Are we the only nation on the planet that refers to college students and recent graduates as kids instead of young adults, thus absolving them of their responsibility and obligations to pay back loans they enthusiastically applied for and accepted?" I'm going to share my thoughts about this. Some young folks take out these student loans when they're 18 years old. A lot of 18-year-olds are not fully developed yet. Read about that. The human mind is not fully developed at 18 years old. A lot of 18-year-olds have also been on their parents' payroll their entire life. They have no idea how hard it is to make money or save money, and they have no idea how difficult it is to pay bills. Some people think this is what you do. You take out student loans, you go to college, you get a degree in something. Once you get your diploma, you go out and you get a good paying job, and no problem. You can cover all your bills. It doesn't always work like that. You need to be strategic. You need to pick a major that's in demand. You need to make sure it's something that isn't going to be replaced by artificial intelligence in the future. You need to make sure that you're going to be employable with your skill set when you graduate to stand a chance at being able to pay all your bills. Some 18-year-olds don't understand this. Yes, they are enthusiastic about going to college because that's what their peers are doing. But I doubt that they all fully understand what they're doing when they're that age. But that's just what I think. And what do I know? I'm just some guy on YouTube. The next commenter said, hoping their federal student loans would be forgiven, debtors went on a spending spree, traveling the world, taking selfies and posting to Facebook. The bill has come due. Get a full-time job. Stop spending money foolishly and make your loan payments. Another person said, the government should not be in the loan business. People who are too much of a credit risk for home loans, student loans, and even business loans would not get the money from banks if it was not for government programs and guarantees. The last comment that I'll share with you came from someone who said, if the education you're buying won't support the debt incurred, maybe lenders shouldn't be so quick to lend. Well, my friends, the commenters have some interesting thoughts. Please keep in mind, these are the thoughts and opinions of the commenters and not me. I'm curious, what do you think about all this? Share your thoughts in the comment section below. If you enjoyed this video, consider subscribing to the channel. I want to extend a special thanks to everyone who has subscribed to this channel. I want to also thank all of my channel members. If you would like to become a channel member, there is a link in the description beneath this video. You can read more about the different membership levels. Please also check out some of the great books I suggest you consider reading in the description below. I've included Amazon affiliate links to these books. As an Amazon associate, I earn from qualifying purchases. Stay healthy and wealthy. I'll see everyone in the next video.